hard to cast. It's.
Okay, go.
I'm gonna hear clicks unless you're over it.
Good.
Okay. Real fucking funny, huh?
Yeah, well, it's unavoidable.
All right. Just fucking go for it.
From Provo, Utah, this is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGollier and Caleb Schweiss. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am Joe.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Caleb Craig.
And Caleb Craig is muted, so let's try that again.
And I'm Caleb Craig.
There you go. Caleb Craig is here.
Indeed.
So yeah, we got our guest Caleb Craig here because he thought Nude Clan was recording 2 hours before it is ever scheduled to record.
Yeah.
I get here early anyway.
And so we start Ultima at noon, and then we start Nude Clan at. You're gonna have to turn up the volume on that computer.
It's all the way up.
We always start. That's all the way up as well.
Well, and you're high.
That's just not very loud.
Fine.
Are you sure that's up?
Yeah.
Let me check it.
It's fucking up. I just checked it.
Oh
I'm
wow.
not fucking retarded. Didn't you hear this last time?
Yeah, we did.
You hear it?
I didn't
You hear it now? Huh?
I didn't say the sound doesn't exist. I'm just saying that it's like quieter than usual. That's all I'm saying.
I
It's
know.
okay. Shh. So yeah, Caleb Craig showed up early, so we might as well just have him on the show.
Yeah, why not?
This is a very special episode of Ultima Final Fantasy. It is celebrating our new website that we've been
Yeah.
working on for fucking ever, it feels like. It's a huge site, guys. So you go to ultimafinalfantasy.com after this episode is released. You're going to go there. It'll take you to what is now our kind of network site. We're calling Geekdom Entertainment. And not geekdom.com. People had problems with that. There's a business called Geekdom. But Geekdom Entertainment. And there you can check out all of our different shows, and they all have kind of their own websites, their own blogs. We, as hosts, have our own blogs on those
Yeah.
sites as well. And then our forums, they're stripped down, they're clean, and they're much better on mobile devices than they used to be. So go check out our new forums there as well. So ultimafinalfantasy.com. Speaking of, after we record this episode, we are going to be shutting down the old site. So we have to clear all of our questions and all of our news that we know about. Guys, if we miss your question along the way, just post them in the new forum. Because, that has happened. That happens all the time. There's no real good way of tracking the questions, and so it's just kind of like we leave it up to mine and Caleb's human frailties when it comes to like, oh, did we do this one? No, yes. Oh, let's save this one for later, and then we never get to it. That happens all the fucking time. So I apologize for that if that happens, but we are going to do all of those questions and all that stuff today. Real quick, some plugs. You can check us out, once again, ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can go to youtube.com/ultimafinalfantasy. By the way, for you guys who are interested in podcasting, there is a video out there now where we show you guys how exactly we mix our podcasts. So if you're interested in that, that's a good place to go. You can like our page on Facebook, facebook.com/ultimafinalfantasy, and you can see us play the games live, twitch.tv/ultimafinalfantasy, and you
It's
can
actually us now, too.
Yeah,
Joe's
yeah.
actually done a little bit of it.
I've always done a little bit of it.
Yeah, like twice.
No, more like 6 times.
Yeah, you gotta give him those extra 4 times.
So you can check me out at twitter.com. You can go to @JosephDeGollier.
Me at Obsidian Bar.
And me and the show at UFF Podcast.
All right. Well, Schweiss, where are you in Final Fantasy 11? What's going on?
I am just slightly behind you. We're like probably about halfway through Chains of Promathia. Is that about right?
We're at the end of 5 out of 8.
Oh, so we're further than halfway.
Yeah,
That's
we're
pretty
further
good.
than halfway.
You guys are at the end of 5, though, right?
We should finish this week. No, we still have. There were 3 big quests at the end of 5, and we only did one
okay.
of them.
I am a little bit behind them. I had to go do some family stuff Wednesday night, and I wasn't able to play then. But I'm going to go catch up today after the podcast. So I'll be all caught up to you guys. I just got a mount in the game, which was pretty fun. What, is Craig doing his whistle thing?
Yes.
Oh, I can't hear it. I don't have my headphones in, so
Caleb's got the nose whistle going on.
Yeah.
I got my headphones in, and they're up and loud, too.
need that trimmer there, buddy.
I guess. Just old man.
Yeah. Well, you got the memory of one, so.
Oh,
true.
there you go.
But yeah, no, we just barely got our mounts, and that's been a great improvement for Final Fantasy XI. I kind of wish we would have done this from the get-go. Like,
Yeah.
this is a lot of improved speed.
And you know what? It took maybe like an hour to get. As well.
And that's only because I fucked up. There's a sweet highlight on Twitch that's me failing. Like, there's a quest that you got to go around and collect these little fruit baskets or some shit, and it's underneath these big blue beams of light. So they're pretty easy to find. But I got turned around. I didn't realize I had to go to the end of the course. I thought, like, completing it, I'd go back to where I started, right? And then you guys are like, oh, you got to go to this lady. And then I checked, and she was the opposite end. So I was like, oh, shit, I got to hurry. And
Didn't make it.
I was, like, 2 seconds away from reaching the fucking woman.
I just had problems. I didn't understand the system. So you get on the Raptor, and you got to go find all these points on this map. And the Raptor will start slowing down, and you got to, like, do /cheer on
Yeah.
it. But you can only do /cheer on it if, like, you've hit one of the marks on your way. It was kind of, for me at the beginning, I thought it was really convoluted, but it was, once I got the handle of it, it was easy.
Yeah, it was.
And so it was like, oh, that's all you have to do. And then what's crazy about this game, I know it used to take like a month to get the Chocobo license and breed the Chocobo.
Yeah.
In fact, it used to take a full-on day, like a real-life day. You have to give these...
Yeah, you got to build trust with the Chocobo
Yeah.
before they give you a license, and you have to, like, feed it greens. Not Casal greens, of course. They had to ruin it and make it some other, like, weird grass. But, yeah, it used to take you a full day before you could feed it a second time, and you had to feed it, like, 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
But now it's only, like, a minute or something like that.
Yeah, you got to wait a minute in between. And
Yeah.
so you got to just...
Yeah.
The arbitrary minute in between.
Yeah, it's like you might as well just let us force feed this fucking thing. Spinach mode from that
From Double Dragon.
Double Dragon movie, yeah. Just fucking put the hose in there and just force it down.
Funnel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, getting the license wasn't that bad. We got the truss already, though, like the... not the truss, the mounts already. We got the Velociraptor mount from getting the Chocobo license,
Yeah.
I think. And then as part of the login campaign, you get so many points every day you log in, and you can go to a specific dude, and he'll give you can use those login points, and you can buy special items. And we had bombs this month.
Yeah, so we both got we have a bomb mount. I don't think I've used the item yet for it, though.
Oh.
Bomb mount?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's awesome. So you're like on this. Okay, you know those things like those yoga balls or like the yoga balls for kids with the handles on it?
Yeah.
It's a bomb.
Yeah.
So what, you just like grab it by its hair looking stuff? The
and
spikes
then
on it?
Yeah, and then you're like bouncing up and down as the music's going. And you're going
Oh,
to
so
the
it's
next
like a
place.
bouncy ball? Like
Yeah,
it bounces?
yeah. That's how it kinda seems.
That's
Well, it kinda
hilarious.
hovers in the air. and you're
Yeah.
bouncing,
Oh, okay.
But, you know, it's. I think they just keep the same animation for everything,
Huh.
and then they just like, oh, it's a new creature. But yeah, it's fucking awesome.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah, mounts in 14, I remember, were just like a amazing time saver. But I can't believe we hadn't done this in 11.
Yeah, I know.
I'm wondering
it's-
how much time we would have saved in Final Fantasy 11 had we just gotten the fucking Chocobo license.
It would have probably been at least a couple hours that we would have shaved off easily.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't like a long quest or anything like that. It was really quick. So yeah, if you guys are going to play 11, make sure that's one of the first things you do. Just grab a mount.
It's two
you're gonna
very
need
easy
it.
quests.
Yeah, you're going to really need it, and it's going to save you a bunch of time. And it's pretty nice. Like, there's no macro for it, at least I don't think, because the mounts came out later or something like that. I can't remember exactly what someone was telling me on the Twitch stream. So we can't just like hotkey it, but it still is pretty quick.
Yeah, but what you can do is just do / mount and then bomb.
Yeah.
I can't spell velociraptors, so I do bomb. It's much easier.
Yeah.
So that's a quick way to do that. You don't. Yeah, I'm faster at typing than I am going through that fucking convoluted menu.
Yeah, I'm sure just about everybody is. If you are. I mean.
Caleb Craig, have you been playing any Final Fantasy since last time you were on here?
I've been playing 6, trying to beat it. I started 7 on the PS4 just to play it again.
Just play it again.
Yeah.
How's it? Where are you in 6?
Oh, let's see. Just after Kefka broke the world, and I've been gathering characters.
Oh, okay.
You're
alright.
pretty close then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last dungeons
You
were
could try
long.
to go beat the game right now if you want.
I think the last thing that I've been doing was I'm getting the Yeti guy.
Yeah, get the Yeti guy, get the Mog, and get the Mog charm, the Moogle
Yeah.
charm that's right behind the Mog when you get him.
There's like a crack in the wall and you can go snag
Seriously,
It's
it is
awesome.
the world's greatest thing because you got to have you got to have 3 parties that split up in Kefka's tower
Mhm.
at the very end, and I know that for at least one of my parties, I needed that on one of them, and so that's important. It's an important item, believe it or not.
I believe it.
So get that Moogle charm, man. Get that Moogle charm. All right. We got lots of news, Schweiss.
Yes.
We got lots of news. Let's check out the news.
The news?
The news. All right.
Well, when you say lots of news, I mean, it's not the most news we've ever had, but...
Well, I just said lots of. So
It
speaking
is.
of Final Fantasy XI, there was a Reddit AMA dealio with one of the producers, or 2 of the producers of Final Fantasy XI. And so people were just asking them questions about like item storage stuff, where they were like, sorry, the servers just can't handle doing 99 stacks of anything.
yeah.
So they were talking about that. And then they also mentioned that there was something in the development of Final Fantasy XI that they were not able to do because of hardware limitations. But they wanted to implement a system originally in Final Fantasy XI that the players would be able to just freely design dungeons
Wow.
in the game.
That's pretty intense.
And that's pretty fucking awesome.
That would make the game so much larger.
Yeah, it would. There's another game, another MMO that I played. It's called Neverwinter. It's a Dungeons and Dragons MMO, and that one you actually could do your own dungeon. And it was kind of a cool concept. There were some times where you can go into other players' dungeons and like try them out and shit like that, and it was pretty cool. But I don't know, that would have been pretty awesome if FF11 had a feature kind of like that.
Yeah, it would
but
be.
unfortunately, they didn't have it in them at the time. So
All right, so we got some new gameplay footage of Final Fantasy 12. You want to just click play on that video?
let's check this out.
I guess, like, fast
Guy's
forward,
commentary
yeah,
is going to
so you
go
press,
through it,
like,
but
see this
he's
one,
he's moving
yeah.
Vaughn around this map, and it's the HD version of the game.
Yeah, so he's got his turbo.
You know what? Let me get a shot of the controls here real quick. You guys can take it. Take
All right,
a
you
look
can
at
stop the
that.
video.
High speed mode.
So there's some like turbo thing with the FF12 that you can see. Also, like, this is an HD remaster. It's not a remake. That's important to notice. So the character models are basically the same.
Yeah.
They're just cleaned up, and it looks really good. What do you think?
Yeah, I still think it's going to be pretty sweet. I'm excited to finally get Final Fantasy 12 remastered.
You mean with Final Fantasy 12 trophies?
Yeah.
Colon trophies.
what
I
I'm
deserve
excited for.
I deserve the trophies, so I will gladly earn them a second time.
Got a little bit of Final Fantasy Arcade news for you 12 listeners in Japan.
Yeah.
Kane Highwind is going to be added to Final Fantasy Dissidia Arcade.
Yeah.
So you guys can check that out. There's a new trailer for that as well, which I think we're just going to go ahead and skip.
Yeah, he's the best character in the game, so be
Yeah.
excited.
A lot of news with World of Final Fantasy. There are tons of new screenshots that you guys can scroll through on various websites, I am sure. and it's pretty much more of the same to me. So I'm not gonna get into like the new stuff we see. We got new areas and looks like new bosses and stuff like that.
Yeah, some dragons going on here.
Yeah, so there might be some like story spoilers out there. But here is kind of the big news for World of Final Fantasy. It looks like we got its opening theme song. Now I'm thinking, guys, that we just sit back, relax, and listen to the new opening theme song from World of Final Fantasy. And the little video that comes with it.
喜びが瞬いた星の命暗闇に散りばめたように綺麗悲しみはいつだってすぐそばにある夜を駆けてく星はご覧君の大事なものを教えて僕らの目にも映るかなたとえ傷ついても君は手を離さない胸の痛みを知ってるからたとえ幾千の夜が僕らを隠してもほら未来へのルート覚えて
Okay. Caleb Craig, you're a watcher of anime. What do you think?
Why does that matter?
Because it's J-pop. That's
Because
all.
it's J-pop. I don't know. Sounded fine. It was like a more upbeat kind of song, I guess, than normal Final Fantasy themes. Like more poppy.
It's
I don't know. Well, not poppy. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. More happy, I guess.
it's J-pop. I don't
Yeah.
think they make sad songs in J-pop.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You're saying it's more poppy than most other ones. Like, is that more upbeat? I don't think there's anything more upbeat than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know.
More poppy and upbeat than that?
No, okay, maybe not.
This is why you're not here anymore.
Fuck you. I was saying like main ones. I don't know.
All right, fine. I think it was all right. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't really care.
I don't really have any
It doesn't
strong
change
feelings
my
either
opinion
way.
towards the game.
No. What is your opinion towards the game? You have an opinion towards
think
the
it looks
game?
fine.
Already?
Looks fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of really weird chibi stuff going on, and like a lot of little midget characters with giant heads. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks weird, but the battle system looks all right. So I don't know. I'm cool. I don't care.
My hatred of the art style is
Strong.
it's strong.
Yeah, you're afraid their heads are gonna like crush their bodies.
I was just like, this is a new Final Fantasy game and it's not fucking mobile? Like, what? This is a full-on Final Fantasy game on the PS4.
Well, that's also on Vita.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that doesn't make it a Vita game. It's a PS4 game.
It's still somewhat mobile.
So what we're looking at is this game that we're used to, a series that since FF7, when it has a big release game, they're at least realistically proportioned.
Yeah, that's true.
With the exception of 9, I guess, is the notable exception. But 9 does not look like that.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. And so I am slightly concerned about that. I don't know. That's yeah.
Well, you're used
I'm
to
also-
the high standards of them trying to like push the boundaries of the graphics, but this just seems to be like,
Yeah, but you'd think Joe would know better.
It looks like Little Big Planet.
Better graphics doesn't mean better games.
No, it doesn't
I don't think
mean
it really
better
matters.
game. And I'm not saying that the game will be bad. I'm just saying that I'm just not a fan of that art style at all. And I'm also not a fan of J-pop, but that song was bearable, so I'll go ahead and give it a pass on that song. There's no eyes on. It's no eyes on me.
Not as bad as some.
It's not as bad as some particular 10-2 songs. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's okay. But speaking of things that are okay, let's go. Let's take from things that are okay and let's go into things that are fucking awesome. This fucking new mount for Final Fantasy XIV is amazing. There is a new Fat Moogle air balloon mount, and it is fucking awesome.
That is fucking sweet looking.
I don't even know, it's a gigantic Moogle, and it's like an air balloon.
It looks
sweet.
just like a fat Moogle carrying a bunch of smaller Moogles while having this 2-seat swing thing hanging down from its belly that people sit on, which that is fucking fantastic.
I am a huge fan, so you can purchase that for $30 if you want.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's not gonna
It
happen.
might be worth it. I don't know. that mount is fucking incredible.
That is a status symbol right there.
Yeah, it is. It means I throw money at everything. But I don't know, man. I don't know. $30 is pretty steep for that shit. But maybe if they go on a flash sale for the Moogle.
So, have we heard about Final Fantasy Type 0 online, or is this a new thing? I don't remember talking about it, but it looks like some people are creating Final Fantasy Type 0 online. Developed by Perfect World, and it's going to be like a hack and slash gameplay sort of thing. We want to look at this video.
Yeah, let's check it.
Let's go into menus, select and shit. All right, that's some it looks like a pretty high intensity mobile game. That's what it is. So it would be interesting. I mean, we haven't played Type 0 yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we think about doing a sequel to Type 0 here soon.
Right, so they do have the open beta. It has debuted in China, and they're going to be having one in Japan, but it hasn't come out yet, and they're going to
Came out in China before Japan?
I don't know.
It's a little strange. China just got video games, and they're just getting...
They didn't just get video games.
Well, they had them banned for a long time.
They had a band.
Yeah.
But they
You
had
didn't know that?
they had the knockoff games that were coming.
Now...
No, that was before.
Well, no. Okay, so now they have knockoff consoles and stuff because they didn't have access to actual consoles because they were banned in Japan.
In China.
In China, and everything was they just didn't have video games
That's crazy.
for a long
Oh,
time.
wow.
I'm gonna have to look into that. But maybe China is maybe they got a thing. Maybe they got a point, and that point may be corporate greed. Let's
Speaking of corporate greed.
Speaking of corporate greed, Caleb Schweiss.
So we're looking at this screenshot here, and it's got our heroes from Final Fantasy 15. Looking at a window that has an Amex sticker and a little logo for American Express. Really weird. And you apparently you do get real world benefits. The Japanese branch of Amex said that those who obtain a new Amex Gold Card or Business Gold Card in Japan before August 31st will receive Final Fantasy 15 as a special bonus.
Damn.
What? Oh shit!
Guys, I might sign up.
In Japan.
Yeah.
Get a Japanese copy.
I'm sure your credit's way better over there.
Yeah, it is. It's way better.
Wow. So we saw the Coleman one before.
Yeah, the camping chair
Yeah.
and shit like that.
So Final Fantasy 15 is being sponsored by all these people.
Oh man,
It's really weird.
product placement transcends universes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really care for the most part, but it is kind of odd. It takes you out of the fantasy element, but
Now I may have the figure.
Well, they were trying to
wrong.
make it real world-ish, so that's kind of cool. That they would
Yeah,
have
brought
that
to you
stuff.
by American Express.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
at
it
least there's
doesn't have
not
to
the
be-
fucking golden arches.
it doesn't have to be
Be glad
our
for that.
world. just
Still,
real
though.
world.
It is kind of fucking crazy. I don't know. Like, I was already kind of weird when we got the Coleman screenshots.
Yeah.
Then it's like, now it's going even deeper. Like, it's delving deep. Something that, what was I gonna say? So Final Fantasy 15. What the fuck was I gonna say? Fuck.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I just drew a fucking blank. Shit. Okay, let's just fucking move on.
All right, so
that hasn't happened in a long time. Holy shit.
So Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15 will launch digitally on August 30th and physically on October 4th.
Yeah, and we have the theaters, the select theaters in the United States that it will be playing in on August 19th. So, if you are in New York, California, Texas, Virginia, Washington, or Florida, you're fine.
Well, I don't know if
You might
you're
have to take a
fine,
drive.
but you will have one in your state.
Yeah.
A few in Florida, or not Florida, California,
Yeah, we said that.
Virginia,
Yeah.
more than one. So, yeah, go check that out. I'm not gonna fucking read them for you. You can do that yourselves. We do have another. Is there another trailer? Is this what this is?
This is a brand new trailer for
Oh,
Kingsglaive.
wow. All right, let's watch this, guys. 2 minutes starting now. Ooh, PG-13. That's good.
Lucis, a peaceful kingdom of great magic. Niflheim, a
Shame.
military empire of vast machinery.
Shame.
For centuries, the sacred magic of the divine crystal blessed our world and its people.
No.
But in time, the promise of its power brought war to our lands. The fires came, everywhere and all at once.
I am too old to fight this war. I have no choice but to receive the Empire and accept their treaty.
The whole fleet of Airship 6.
It's a trap!
An Imperial fleet.
20 miles to the south.
General Glock, why are you here?
You are far too clever to have ever believed in this peace. All that remains is to break the city.
Your Majesty!
They have the princess.
Give the order to deploy the glaive. See it done. Our hope goes with you now, Nick Ulrich.
That was a much better trailer than the last one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. They look like
they did
Ultros for a second.
Yeah, I saw that.
They stole the Phantom Menace tagline. Did you see that? Every saga has a beginning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was one of theirs, wasn't
They
it?
took the Phantom Menace. That's bad. That's a bad side.
Yeah.
Well, it took Star Wars in 9.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they took the
They just love the Star
hate leads
Wars.
to anger leads to whatever, suffering or
Yeah.
whatever. Which, yeah, we did figure out that 9 actually came out after Phantom Menace, so we did figure that out. Because 9
No,
was,
9 came out before.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it
It
did.
was not before 1999.
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
I feel like 9.
No, it's
oh no,
2000,
you're right.
dude.
That's right. I had it backwards. Final Fantasy did copy the
Yeah.
Star Wars. Sorry, I was thinking something else. No, yeah, it came out in
Okay.
2000.
Yeah.
I think is 9's.
So,
Yeah.
just
It's been
once
about
again-
it's been about Final Fantasy the whole time though. So or not. It's been about Star Wars the whole time. Final Fantasy has.
That's true. Final Fantasy 2 is a rip-off of,
Yeah,
of
lots
Star
of-
Wars as well.
Lots of Emperor fighting and whatnot. It's good.
Yeah. And rebels and
Yeah.
orphan children, and it's great. It's just great stuff. I do love Star Wars, so you get more Star Wars with Final Fantasy. It's just kind of got a Japanese sort of
Japanesey
tone
Star
with
Wars.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So does this trailer make you guys more excited for this movie, or?
It does, because the last trailer sucked ass. It was like badly edited and was kind of weird. But this trailer was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Looks like they're really going balls out for this.
Yeah, with the Sean Bean,
Yeah,
especially.
Yeah.
You know, that just says that the king is going to die, though.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, well,
He has to because of
I
Sean
think he
Bean.
does die, doesn't he?
We don't know yet. I'm sure he does, though. I have a feeling.
Well,
he
their
will.
casting of Sean Bean is like a foreshadowing.
He lived in The Martian. He was fine. I was thinking about
did
it.
live
though.
in the Martian.
That is weird.
I was watching it though, and I was like, man, I wonder how he's gonna die. Like, I don't see it happening, but
He gets a heart attack just randomly.
yeah, I'm like, geez, did they really write that in? Like, wait, who are we casting? Oh, give me 10 minutes here.
Gotta fix something.
Yeah, heart attack scene.
Call the writer.
Awesome. Hey, we're making a small edit to one character. Yeah, but
He needs to die in self-sacrifice, doing the right thing
Yeah.
after doing the wrong thing.
yeah.
Does
Good
that a
stuff.
few times.
Yeah, it's like his calling card.
Yeah, that's his calling card. Dude, I fucking love Sean Bean, man. I love Sean Bean.
He's pretty good.
He's a
and
good actor.
He is a good actor. Schweiss, you know, something that we forgot to mention when I asked you where you were in FF11, you've been playing a banned game from the podcast.
A band game.
Yeah, as in a game that we will not review. However, if listeners wish to review the game, they may.
Oh, band.
Yeah.
I was thinking band like
So they're not. We don't do mobile games on our list.
AC/DC. And, yeah, no, I've been playing Brave Exvius for the last week. I got really
really?
tired of Pokemon Go because the game's fucking stupid once you get level 20. I'm talking like a 150 CP Arcanine breaking out of 2 Ultra Balls and 3 regular Pokeballs.
I just had that fucking problem with the Rattata.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, the game just gets so stupidly difficult that I don't even want to play the piece of shit half the time. And it's not... I can understand if the thing was actually more powerful and broke out. I would have no problem with that.
No,
They're just making it more
they're just
difficult.
all
and
being
it's-
douchebags.
It's lazy scaling as far as the game developers go. It's like the laziest I've ever seen. But it's still fun, and I still play it a bunch and go walking and whatnot. But I got tired of it at work because I was just hitting the Pokestop every 5 minutes, swiping it, and getting my shit. So I downloaded Brave Exvius, and so far it's pretty cool.
You gotta work harder at work
Yeah,
with Brave Exvius.
that's right. Hey, at least I. Yeah. Anyway, no. Oh, what's wrong?
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I'm working at least. You know.
Oh, okay. Are
It's
you?
a good thing. It's a good thing to work.
Should
you
we
know.
go into this?
No, we don't have to. We can do it on nude.
All right.
No, but it's actually pretty solid so far. The battle system's interesting. It's cool because you get these. They're doing a login campaign right now to probably pull people from Pokemon Go, because I bet you a lot more people were playing Exvius before Go came out. And each day I log in, I get a summon ticket, and I get to cash it in, and I can summon a character, and it's a character from the series, like one that we've already seen. So I have Shantoto, I have X-Death, I have Golbez right now. I've seen people with Fran, Cecil, all sorts of different characters, and it's pretty cool. The battle system's fun. It feels a lot like old school Final Fantasy. For the most part, though, when you're going through the story, you don't actually control your character. It just carries you along, and then you do battles. But you can go back into most of the areas and free roam and find extra treasure and stuff. And there is crafting involved with the game as well, but I haven't done too much of that. I haven't found a whole lot of use for it because the items are kind of crappy right now that I know how to craft, but you find recipes and stuff like that so that you can unlock the ability to craft different spells and items and stuff. So it's pretty fun. If you guys haven't tried it yet, I'd recommend it. It's like a little thing to do here and there.
Yeah.
When you're in a place that you can't play a normal game, I guess. I would definitely hit that up.
I did get a new phone for the sole purpose of being able to play Pokemon Go, which is kind of ridiculous. I understand that. I needed a new phone anyway, though. It's a piece of shit. I had dropped it into the water at one point, and I mean, it works still. It's a little. It gives me a lot of attitude, I would say. The phone, really. I think electronics do have a personality, and you can tell sometimes with that piece of shit phone that I had. And I did download some mobile Final Fantasy games, however, did not play any of them yet.
Which ones did you get?
I got Brave Exvius and I got Record Keeper because those were the free ones.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at the $30 price tag on fucking Dimensions, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Holy shit! Why is that $30?
So
Oh.
I think because it's like a full final. It might have been like 15, but either way, it's too much.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Record Keeper before on my crappier phone, but it was really bad, so I didn't play a whole lot. That one was cool too. That one it felt like Final Fantasy, like old school stuff.
Yeah.
Not much of a standalone story though, and this one I'm playing now, XVS, does have its own story, and I think they just keep adding content to it because I keep seeing like, ooh, new level available, and stuff
really?
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I might be wrong. It might just be optional dungeons that they're unlocking, but there's a lot of stuff to do, and there is the login campaign, so hit it up and get your free characters.
Yeah, please. And if you have a review for that, just record yourself. Be like 10 minutes if you want, or you can look at our Crystal Defenders episode, and someone did an episode there, and that was like perfect.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So if you want to do like an almost full length one, that's the way to go there. Just review the game. We're looking forward to it, guys. Schweiss, we got a fuckload of questions to get through. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Twitch is like dead.
Yeah, no.
What's our video called?
Final Fantasy or like news catch up or something. Yeah, catch up.
Is it under FF11 or is it?
No, it's under
Oh, then that's bizarre.
gaming, I think. I changed it. Sometimes it doesn't change though.
Okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Well, Caleb was gonna watch a video. That's what it looked like.
No, I was switching to the
Okay.
video.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, we're ready. Let's do this thing.
Questions for us. We would like to hear from you. To forums or contact us on Twitter. Get up and ask your questions. We'll answer them with every week. This is the question segment. Asking you will receive.
Yes. Oh man.
Receive.
Here's another one. This is a question we've answered a few times, but it's a little bit deeper, of course. Since it is Cloud on the forums, it's introducing a newbie. I am introducing someone to FF. She's going to start with 7, so she can fall in love. Where should she go next? My guess is 6, to give her a sense of the older style, but still a traditional favorite. After that, I assume to not go to 10, to leave something good waiting in the wings. I assume 12, to give her a sense of the more modern style. For FF8, which is the lesser of two evils, make her draw magic or play the card game and refine magic. I know the cards are easier, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like FF to play cards to win battles.
I hate that fucking card game.
Yeah,
Especially when the rules change.
I love FF8 regardless, but don't want to turn someone off to FF8.
Yeah.
If you don't want to turn someone off to FF8,
You don't have them play FFA. That's what
yeah, probably.
Yeah, have FF8 be like the last one they
I think
play.
6 is a good choice. I think 5 is a good choice for gameplay. 4.
I would say 4.
4.
4 is a pretty standard one.
If you're starting at
Enjoyable battle
7.
system, decent story.
Yeah.
I always say start at 10, or if they're like a retro player but somehow didn't play 6, have them start with 6. But I mean, 7's a good spot to start naturally, and if you wanted to save 10, then yeah, actually, I think what you're doing is right, except for the 8.
Yeah.
What are the other? What do you guys think?
I would start him with 10 would be. I mean, that's the one we always say to start him with. But honestly, I would almost say start him with 12, just because 12 is less bullshit as far as the voice acting and the zaniness of it. Like, it's more comfortable, I would say.
Yeah, so you're not going into 13 realm with the cheesiness.
Yeah, yeah.
And also the challenge of the gameplay. 12 is a little bit of a more relaxed fit.
Yeah, and I had
on top of the better voice acting.
I had my girlfriend play 10, and she doesn't really care for it too much.
Yeah, okay.
She wants to, of course, she plays Diablo. Is like the only other game she plays. So she wants something that's fast, and 10 is extremely fucking slow. It's like cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene in the beginning, which is great. It's an excellent story, but you want to make sure you don't bog somebody down with just endless cutscenes that don't actually mean anything, and some of 10 is very confusing. The story is kind of convoluted, and we don't even know what some of it is 100%, and that might not be the best place to start them. I know that's what I said last time would be 10, but I don't know. There's a lot of confusing shit in 10.
I still think 10, personally.
And that not all the games are that heavy.
Of course, I started with 8. How about you just have them play the first disc of 8, get stuck, and then move on to a different Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you did in the very beginning?
Yeah, that's what I did, man.
Oh,
I beat 10 first and then 4, but the game I started with was 8.
I think I beat 12, 10, and 7 in the same week. I was
Way to
playing them
go.
all. Yeah.
Way to go.
Wow.
So I would actually say, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here, and this is not what I would normally say, but since you're already starting with 7, I would say, 4 or 12. 4 or 12. What do you think, Craig?
It's the second one to play?
Yeah, it's the second one to play after 7.
Yeah, 4 or 12. I would say 4 is a really good one to play because, it's a easy story to get into. You learn to like the characters and stuff. There's a pretty fun gameplay, and it's one that is like the old Final Fantasies. So after you play 4, it would be easier to play 3, 2, and 1, and then playing the other ones would be easier too. And then 12 is a good one because it lets you into the newer style that Final Fantasy is kind of heading towards, like with 13 and then 15. So I think either one of those is a good choice.
Yeah, so you're I mean, the other option, though, is 9 or something, where 9's a really easy game. 9's filled with cutscenes, and it's similar to FF7 in gameplay style. So you could stay in the same generation, but maybe you do want to, mix it up. Let's go backwards or let's go forwards. Oh.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do the forum members think?
All right, so Chica says 6 is a good choice, or 10, depending on the person. Some people can look past age graphics and admire the story, while others might have a tougher time being as immersed than if they played something newer. 12 is also a good one for a new person to play, since it is quicker, but not as fast as 13. Quinatal says, I find doing this best to be the best results. Really confusing there. 7, 6, 9, 8, 12, 10.
Okay, so he's saying 6 and then 8, huh?
9 and then 8.
Oh, 9 and then 8. 7's, wait, so 7, 6, 12?
7, 6, 9, 8, 12, 10.
So you start, okay. All right.
It's all fucked up. But,
10 last. I get it now. Okay.
And, that's about all the feedback they got.
Yeah.
It just depends on the person. You have to play your cards right. I mean,
it depends.
Don't pick one that they're gonna hate if it's a genre they're not really that interested in. Maybe pick one that's easier. 7's an easy game. It's really easy, but it does have a lot of story. So I don't know.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Since you already started with 7.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have said 10 or 6.
All right, Cloud also asks us another question here. The topic is best plot twist. Piggybacking on the very clever forum by Taku Amazuki, what is the best plot twist in the series?
Ooh.
My nomination would be the entire scene in Medeal as the live stream swallows Cloud and Tifa, and you finally learn what really happened so long ago and who Cloud really is. Another good nomination might be Titus and Jacked relationship, although I was more intrigued upon finally learning that Orin himself was,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Best plot twist?
Best plot twist. What immediately came to mind, it was probably the Cloud thing. But I already knew it because I already saw Advent Children, so it would I don't know. It wasn't a big plot twist for me.
You saw Advent Children before playing the game?
I did.
What the
The game was at the time, Schweiss, PlayStation Network did not release FF7, and the game was fucking expensive for a guy in high school who didn't have a job.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive. It held its value for a long time, a lot of years.
Yeah, I bought your copy for $50.
Yeah, and I got ripped off for it, but I needed money.
No, I'm actually thinking there's a better one in FF10 than that one. I mean, that one's the big one. Oron's a big one too, and Oron was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But the fact that Yuna, think when Titus figures out that Eunice will die at the end of her trip, I mean, it's early on. It's not like a huge, big reveal in the second act or whatever. But
No.
at that point, I was like, oh, okay. This game's getting serious. What do you guys think?
Best plot twist. Well, definitely nothing from 4. I would say the one in After Years where the Wanderer reveals himself. That's an awesome twist. I know that's not mainline Final Fantasy, but it was sweet. I didn't expect it to be who it was, and he was a badass beyond what he was in the previous game in 4 itself, which is saying something because he's pretty sweet in 4. Either that one or the Orin one didn't really get me as much because it was kind of obvious that he was dead. Because it's like he would like get hurt every time something weird would happen, and he wouldn't go on the far plane, and like it was like, oh, something's up with this guy.
I did not see it coming.
Yeah.
I did not see it coming at all. I don't watch movies trying to like figure out what's the plot twist gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, other than
Watch
that,
movies or play games.
I did
do
like
that.
the one with. I did think the one with Cloud was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I can't really.
I like that one with Cloud too. I didn't see it coming when I played it, and having not seen Advent Children or anything before that, so it was.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
What you gonna do? How about dumbest plot twist, real quick? Guardian forces ruining your memory, and that you were all orphaned as children at the same exact place.
Yeah, no one
that's
can
pretty
remember.
Fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, and Irvine doesn't say anything.
Or the
like a dick.
fucking paradox that just is completely ignored in 8, where he like goes back in time and like tells her that she's gonna be evil and like the fucking weird shit.
See, I like that shit.
No,
yeah, I thought
it's
it was
fucking
dumb.
awful. Fucking paradox, dude. It can't exist.
It doesn't matter. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's another really dumb plot twist?
Everybody coming back to life in 4. That's
Everybody
one I
coming
bitch
back
about
to
all the
life
time.
in 4. That one's bad.
Yeah.
The
I like
twin-
4, but
I don't know, the twin brother thing in 12, kinda where it was Bosch's brother that killed the king. That one wasn't dumb, but it was just weird that I don't know.
nobody could tell.
Yeah, that no one could tell, and then when they were told, they were like, "Oh, okay, I'm okay with it. It's not him." I'm like,
Well, that
"That's-
was the real problem. Was that like emotionally, Vaughn was like okay with it.
yeah." Eventually,
a second
he,
after he was told.
well, he still
Yeah.
hated him for a little while, but it was not very far into the storyline, so it was weird.
So we talked about that on the FF12 review. That's not a good twist. Yeah. There's a few bad twists, that's for sure, but there are some good twists. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do the listeners say?
Let's see. Gabranth here says he agrees, though he will state a few twists that he enjoyed in the other games, especially on the first playthrough of 7. That scene was definitely a big plot twist. It's fascinating to find out how Cloud turned out the way he was, that Tifa had some skeletons to hide, that almost everything was a figment of Cloud's imagination. Still a bit hazy about the fire. I'm not sure how that can be faked, but nonetheless, it's a very big twist in the story. A few others that came to mind that mostly are during a first playthrough. FF4, once you get Edge and having to fight his plagued parents, was quite gut-wrenching.
That was a
part.
good one.
Yeah. FF6, learning why Locke is the way he is with women, with the whole Rachel scene. Final Fantasy Tactics, learning that Dice Guard was the cause.
Yeah, you can't do anything from tactics.
Tactics. Don't go into it.
FF12, that Balthier was a judge and that Redis was Judge Zack. That was a good one, actually, yeah. Gabranth kicked his ass. Lastly, without spoilers, to put it simply, the end of 13.2 with its message afterwards. I guess we can't really talk about that one because we have no idea. But...
Oh, you know what's another one that I
Stola
like?
says the Bosch thing is melodramatic, which is kind of true. But go ahead.
Another one that I liked was finding out that Taro was like, half Esper in 6.
That's right.
Yeah,
I didn't
Forgot about that part.
know about that. I saw that part.
It was that my favorite scene is the weird like sexual thing going on between the moon person and the lady.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and Tara's mom, and it's
Yeah.
just like really
Like really
The
weird.
animation's crazy, and like the dialogue that he says is like, we can go. I can't even remember what it was, but it was like something vague, and they're like spinning around each other. And I'm like, this is a sex scene, isn't it? This is a weird ass sex scene in Final Fantasy VI.
I imagine it would be really hard to animate with sprites.
I bet you
I
could
can
do
think
it.
of I can think of a few ways. I thought of actually another really bad twist. Let's go with Necron from Final Fantasy IX, and let's go ahead and go with who's the one controlling Golbez in Final Fantasy IV? Like Eximile or something? Or
No, Zeromus.
Yeah.
Zeromus.
Zeromus,
Stupid twist.
Yeah.
Mind control within the mind control. Within the mind
Mindception.
control. Yeah, Mindception
Yeah.
from FF4.
That is kind of irritating in that game. Let's see whatever everybody else said, or the other one person that had mentioned it. Branny says, for myself, I'm going to go with Final Fantasy IX's big plot twist involving Zidane and Kuja. It was a pretty strong moment for me when I first played. Learning that Kuja's little secret and where Zidane actually came from was a oh shit moment. The scene after Zidane and his theme, You're Not Alone, playing. Another big twist was FF4 when you learn who Golbez actually is. Yeah, they are pretty similar, those two.
Yeah. The Kuja ones, yeah, that one's a good one.
Yeah,
Finding out where
nine
Zidane's
nine
from.
had that theme going on like the whole time though, where everyone's a clone and
Yeah.
they're trying to find themselves. But let's see. Oh, we got a couple in the Twitch chat here. Was anyone blindsided by the reveal that Yuna and other summoners sacrificed themselves and their guardians for the final summoning?
Yes, we talked about that.
Yeah, we did mention that one. A little bit. I don't know. A little bit. Let's see. Final Fantasy X, when Tidus learns that Yuna is going to die at the end. And again, yeah, this one's a big one. And a lot of people are kind of blindsided by that. I think it's hinted at, though, sort of.
It is. It is. Playing the game again,
And-
there's a lot of like little hints along the way, I think. And
Yeah.
it's not that far into the game once again.
No, that when you learn it, yeah, especially going through trying to speed run it like I did to try to catch up to getting to home so that I could get the platinum for it. It is a pretty early point where you get everything revealed. Mostly, like you said, playing it a second time. The first time I played it, it took me a little while to get there, but it's I don't know. I could see where it could get you because you don't have enough time in between to really think it through and be like, oh, they're kind of what are they hinting at, sort of a thing. All right, we got one here from Hat89. The topic is Final Fantasy VII Remake or Reimagined. I am a new fan of the podcast. However, over the past week and a half, I've listened to probably about 16 to 17 episodes, and I love it. Well, thank
First
you.
16 to 17?
I don't know. If they love that, they're going to love what's next. My question is in regards to the FF7 remake. From what I have seen and heard, it appears that Square just can't remake a classic game. They have to make it an entirely different game. So it seems more fitting that it should be called Final Fantasy VII Reimagined rather than Final Fantasy VII Remake. This reminds me of the Star Trek reboot, which wasn't actually a reboot, but a completely different series with drastic changes, such as the destruction of Vulcan. I hope nothing of similar magnitude is changed in the FF7 universe. However, I did find it hilarious that the developers can't fathom keeping the battle system because it's too old. But they have no problem keeping Barrett with a machine gun arm. Where does he put the bullets? Wouldn't the recoil push his shoulder out of its socket? It depends on how big the caliber is, but
Yeah.
how does he shower with that thing? Better yet, the weight alone has got to give him terrible backaches, and considering the party is being hunted down by Shinra, wouldn't being the only black man with a machine gun arm on the entire planet be a definite giveaway? Perhaps a side quest in which Barrett gets a new cybernetic arm if the game is a reimagining. Thoughts?
That's a good point. I don't mind the Star Trek thing personally.
Yeah, the Star Trek thing was an alternate universe. That's why it had Leonard Nimoy in there.
Yeah,
So
I don't mind it.
it wasn't really. I don't know.
But I don't think the game's actually called Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know they're calling it that right now, but I think when the game comes out, it's just going to be called Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. And a remake.
And I know it's a reimagining. Yeah.
This is a remake, though. That's what a reimagining is to me. It's
Yes.
You're remaking the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a reboot, remake, reimagining. It's all the same thing. It's a moot point.
It's a
for that.
re-re.
Yeah.
Sick of Riri's.
Riri?
Yeah, have you seen the fucking trailer for Ben-Hur? The new one?
There's a new one?
Yeah. A new Ben-Hur.
I don't think I want to see it.
No, it's bad looking.
Chlorophyll brings up a good point on the chat here. Barrett's gun arm is detachable. And you do switch it out for melee weapons at times. You can take it off.
There was that one where you could use like a cannonball for a fist.
Yeah, and there's like a drill arm. You go up and hit him with the drill.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like Bioshock
drill arm
too. Before,
yeah. Big Black Daddy.
Yeah. Oh wow. No, I don't mind the whole remake of 7. I mean, it's already happening, so there's nothing we can do to stop it. And I don't really care.
I don't think they should have called Star Trek the new ones the Star Trek Reimagined.
Yeah, Star Trek is fine. They're not going to change it like that. It just makes it awkward and kind of clunky sounding. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how they do it. I mean, hopefully they do have some sort of realism twist to it with the arm. I mean, that'd be cool.
I think in Advent Children, he has like the prosthetic thing that turns into the gun arm, doesn't he?
I don't remember that at all.
No.
Last time I watched Advent Children, I was
could have sworn he had like an arm and then like he had the gun.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember. Was that another thing? Okay.
But yeah, I think whatever. I think it'd be cool if they acknowledged that, though, if they tried to make it more realistic. Because if they don't, it's just pure. It's almost laziness. They're like, oh, we're gonna make it look really good, but we're not gonna do any sort of explanation for anything that we couldn't explain before. So hopefully they do have some sort of like arm thing that he can throw on a sleeve, take it off, remove it. That's something we saw with Advent Children, where they absorb the materia, which was weird. It's supposed to go in your fucking weapons and equipment, but whatever. And that's something that the Buster Sword does. You see the 2 materia slots. Like, that's what that is.
That's what it's for.
I like seeing that. I like having them explain, oh, this is how it's done. You put it in this spot here. So that would be cool if they did it. If not, I don't know. We'll see what they do.
So I'm thinking like the arm thing. I don't have a problem with the arm thing. I mean, I watched Lady in the Water, and the one dude only worked out one half of his body.
Oh my god, that's fucking terrible, though. That is an awful movie.
It's a mediocre movie. I don't think it's fucking awful. Like, I don't think it's that bad.
It's pretty bad,
but it is bad. I had a guy at scout camp who
did the same thing.
That was like their family movie. Him and his sister worked at the scout camp, and like they loved Lady in the Water.
Who loves Lady in the Water?
Quote Lady in the Water all day, and they would joke about the one dude who only worked out half of his body. Which is honestly the biggest takeaway from Lady in the Water.
Okay, is it just like a joke movie to them, or is this a serious love?
They legitimately love that movie.
Why?
I don't know.
God, that is awful.
I don't think it's like The Happening. If The Happening was your movie, then that would be awful. But Lady in the Water, I think, is like, I don't know. It's kind of teetering between like okay and bad.
No, I don't think it is.
No, you really hate Lady in the Water that much.
It was pretty fucking
like bad. It's bad, but it's not.
All right, enough of this Lady in the Water.
Hold on, it's not.
Dude, have you seen it?
No, I haven't, and I don't care.
Nobody else does that. Well, there's a dude who works out half his body.
If you.
So he's like super buff on one arm, and he's got like nothing on the other.
Yeah, he's like ridiculously thin on the other side.
I'm doing an experiment. I'm only working out half my body. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
to say the least.
It's fucking weird.
Anyway,
what is that, bro? Does Brandy say?
Brandy says he's not too excited for the remake since it's just now entering the Plananese phase. Whatever that is. Probably because I'm not a fan of the changes they've mentioned so far. The battle system is basically looking like Kingdom Hearts or FF15. The only thing I'm interested in about and super nervous about is that the game is planned to be released in parts. It comes off like they're trying to snatch as much money as possible, but I'm hoping instead they'll make the game Totally massive. Like the first release will basically be the first disc. I really want them to spend time in Midgar. Oh, Jesus. Always wanted to explore.
They already
the
spent
city
time.
Yeah, it's
and
like
all
the
the
first
so much
fucking
time.
disc.
Maybe they're thinking fun time.
Oh, okay, all right.
Hat89 says, I'm not excited about the episodes either. Firstly, in my opinion, it's a lie that they can't create FF7 for the PS4 on one disc, because 15 is on one disc. Other large-scale games such as Fallout and Skyrim have been on one disc as well, so I fail to see how they can justify multiple episodes. Considering FF15 is one complete game, are we to assume that FF7 is a bigger game than 15? How about just make the graphics pretty good rather than spectacular and have it on one disc? Secondly, some people have stated that they are happy about the episode release because they'll be able to play the game sooner. I am not in this boat because I feel like the story is going to be as captivating, not as captivating if I have to wait a year or two in between each episode. Plus, I feel the wait time in between games will cheapen the story for newer players. That's a good point. Let's see. Stolas also says, to be fair, it wasn't because it was old. It was because Nomura said design-wise it looked awkward. They want to have realistic characters and enemies standing in straight lines, not interacting with the environment. Remake also implies there will be changes and updates due to the limitations they faced when they made it 20 years ago. And Nomura did update Barrett's design so it no longer looks like the Gatling gun is just melded to his flesh. Also, FF15 has a total of 5 major cities so far. FF7 had 8 or 9 major towns and 1 mega city that Square stated that all sectors will be explorable. If they're matching the scale to FF15, that is a lot of data to fit into one Blu-ray.
Soon it'll just be an MMO, just the announcement.
Yeah.
I think their idea behind the multiple games was it being like kind of multiple discs, like how they had 3 discs. They're gonna do like 3 games, where it's exploring like a huge section of the story. So they're gonna like break it off at a natural like stopping point, and then like the next game will pick up like there.
All right, real quick, and I know we don't usually talk about the Twitch stream on the episodes, but it looks like we got a listener here who's never listened to our show before. And he said, you skip my questions.
Yeah, we're reading them off of our website. That's why.
Yeah, we do this. We do this a little differently. We don't do the Twitch streams live like other people do. Like we don't respond to the Twitch questions because we're recording a podcast, and the podcast comes first before the live stream does. But he does ask a question here. Do you think that Final Fantasy 5 and 6 should be remade and put on the 3DS, kind of like the DS version of Final Fantasy 4?
I don't see why not. I mean, these games need to be more accessible. 5 and 6 especially. There's like the PS1 and the originals right now. I say release it on everything that you can. I think it would be a great thing to have on 3DS.
I don't know if it needs to be remade. I mean, the 4 remake was kind of weird. Added story elements that weren't there in like the original 4.
Yeah, but you liked it, didn't you?
I did like it, but like it doesn't. I don't feel like it's necessary to remake either of those.
I gotta
like,
say,
just add it to the
just
store
port
so
'em.
you can like download it.
I've said this about 16 million times. The absolute best version of Final Fantasy 4 is the complete edition on the PSP.
Yeah.
There's no voice acting, and it's pretty much the original game. They added a couple little CG cutscenes that are kind of awkward, but it's pretty much the original game, smoothed out with cleaner 2D graphics, and that's honestly what I wish for. It's kind of like what they did with FF1, then turned it into Dawn of Souls, only it's like another jump.
Yeah.
That's what I would want for them, and they could put that on the DS. I don't really think that those games need... I mean, there's something about the old games. They don't need to have voice acting in order to be good.
No.
Yeah, it's weird when they add it.
So I don't know if it's a necessary thing to remake. In fact, I don't think the best version of FF4 is the DS version. I
don't think so either.
I think it's the complete edition.
Oh, I definitely agree. I'd say just port them all. Like, I don't see why not.
Yeah, nothing really needs
Always
to be
port. Always.
Yeah,
nothing
port it
really
to-
needs to be remade. It just needs to be made more available.
And I mean, 3D animations for some of that would be awesome. Like, I think that'd be sweet to see the spells going off and stuff
Yeah.
bouncing out of the screen and whatnot. So yeah, go for it. I'd say. I'd say hit it up. Make them as accessible as possible. That's what it's about. All right, Benjamin says the greatest. Well, this one's titled "The Greatest of Final Fantasy Moments." It's a toughie. Final Fantasy is a game series that transcends a monitor and game controller. It is a cultural phenomenon that has a profound impact on the lives of those who have played the series and embraced it. This series has affected me in such a positive way, and I thought back on the early days of my Final Fantasy experience. In my reflection, I thought I would reach out to the community and ask a little bit about your own personal Final Fantasies. Number 1. What is the first Final Fantasy memory that you have? Craig.
The first Final Fantasy memory?
I'll tell you if you're lying to me or not. So I was there.
The first one would be borrowing 7 from Caleb.
Yeah, he kept telling me that Zelda was so much better, and I told him that he was wrong.
Well, how can you say Zelda
I don't know,
so much
man.
better
It's
without
not even the
playing?
same kind of a game.
Series?
Get out.
Get the fuck out of here.
No,
That doorway?
no,
Fuck
they're
you.
not
Me
even
and Caleb are alone on Nude Clan after this.
They're not even comparable. Like Zelda
No,
is
it's
not
true.
an RPG.
They're not.
It's an adventure game. There's some RPG elements, very small amounts of RPG elements, but all right.
That's
So
true.
borrowing 7 and then losing
Yeah.
my booklet to 7 and Tactics. And then my
No, I
whole
didn't lose the one to
copy of
Tactics.
someone over there lost it. It's not in there anymore, and it was there when I got it. So
Sore spot for Schweiss.
Whatever.
yeah, I like complete versions, editions of things, and not.
You don't like
naked.
people to borrow things from you and then only give you half of it back.
Yeah, yeah, I like to have it all back. Strangely. All right, what about you?
You're
Joe?
asking for too much. I think I said this on our first episode and maybe a couple after that, but first Final Fantasy related memory I have is being in the theater. I don't remember what movie we were seeing, but I saw the trailer for Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Oh, okay.
So
Fun,
that's the first notion of Final Fantasy I had. Remember, I wasn't playing video games until I was 15, at least not
Right.
regularly. And my friends that I was hanging out with at the time were into shooters. And then I borrowed FF8 from Dylan a couple years down the road because I was
Okay.
like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy. I remember, that movie. I didn't know it was a video game thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it was. Oh man, my aunt was living with me, and she had this boyfriend that came over, and he was a pretty cool dude. He ended up he gave me a copy of Final Fantasy VII.
He bought you?
Yeah, for Christmas. He had
White
it,
slavery.
and I don't know, it wasn't really his style of game, and he was like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to give this to you. And I was like, oh, awesome, thank you. And it took me forever to figure out that X wasn't select, because back then I had played, like, very few
That
video
fucked me up
games.
too.
Yeah, the same thing with Pokemon. I'm trying to play it, and, like, A is off to the side. I'm like, this is so dumb. The layout is fucking idiotic, but whatever. Once I figured out how to attack, I fell in love with the game. I would let Cody borrow it, and we'd like see how far. One of my buddies, Cody, we'd see how far we could get, and like, oh, borrow it for the weekend. See if we get to Ifrit, and shit like that. And now, like, I play 7, and it's like do that in like 2 hours. But back in the day, it was just so much fun. I got Final Fantasy 8 before I beat 7 though. And I tried to play 8, and I loved 8 for the first little while until I realized that this is monotonous as hell, trying to draw all this magic. But I thought the system was really cool, and I was doing so much damage and all this other stuff. But I was leveling, so I couldn't beat the game ever because I wasn't good enough to beat it while playing it like a normal game. So it was a good start, though. 7 was the beginning for me, though. It was a straight-up game, no movie. I didn't even know there was a movie at that time. I don't think I even saw anything on it.
Well, no one saw it. So.
Yeah, which is, that's kind of the thing. No one saw
Man,
it.
I'm
But
trying to remember what the fuck the movie was that we saw. I have no idea. It must have been like Shrek or some bullshit. No, it was before then.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know what movie it came in front of,
Yeah, I don't think I even saw trailers for that movie.
Yeah.
All right. The second one is, what is your most cherished Final Fantasy memory?
I love the ending of 10. Playing for that for the first time. I still think, and I bring it up a lot. I think it's a beautiful ending.
Okay.
I don't know.
The first time you actually beat one?
Fuck you. No, I think I think my entire experience of playing Final Fantasy Tactics. It's my favorite Final Fantasy memory.
Ooh, my favorite Final Fantasy memory. Oh man, you know what? This is really weird, but I might say FF14. There was this night where I was playing it, and our healer, our tank was gone, and I was only kind of the healer. It was an easier dungeon. I think I was a summoner that night, so I had a heal. And all it was me and 2 other DPS, and no one else is joining. No one was joining at all, and we were like, what do we want to do? Like, do you guys want to quit? And I was like, no, let's just try it. And, like, we go into the boss fight, and it is just brutal, right? Like, I'm trying to heal everybody while tanking and, like, trying to keep everything alive, keep everything going. And it's that one boss where you have to go, like, touch those items in the corner of the room where there'll be a big AoE attack that wrecks you. It's in that manner. Mm-hmm. And I'm running around trying to do that shit, like hit the thing, go back in, like heal the dude that's almost dead, go back and hit the other one, go back and heal, and try to do some damage because like everyone's just getting wrecked, because of the damage output. And we ended up killing it with we just barely survived. And it was like this awesome moment of like, oh man, we did it without the class that we fucking needed to have to not die, and it was just awesome. All sorts
That's
of
pretty good.
They both recommended me, gave me the little recommendation or accommodation thing at the end, and it was a lot of fun. I'd say another awesome moment is one that really was really awesome for me at the very least was when I first found out about the when we see Sephiroth in the basement, kind of a thing. Like when he's down there and he starts like losing his mind, and then it's like this awesome thing, and he just leaves the room, and like all the village is just burned down. I was like, oh. And that cutscene where he turns around with the fire, that was amazing when I first saw it. I was like, holy shit, that looks awesome.
Cecil fighting himself as a paladin is a really good moment.
Yeah, that's
like
a good
that
one.
too.
Yeah.
And then first seeing X Death when you're like, I gotta fight this fucking boss.
Yeah.
When you're Galoof?
No, I mean as
first
boss
seeing
at
him
the
in the boss
very
mode,
end.
yeah.
Oh.
Boss fight for 5, and then dying the first time, being like, this guy is gonna be rough.
Yeah, X Death is sweet.
X Death, the boss fight is like a crazy boss fight.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Let's see what Benjamin answers his own
Oh
question
yeah.
with.
Hold on. I got one more.
Okay.
One more kicker. Final Fantasy IX, the first time I played it, beat the game. You were in the room when I beat it. Dagger had like the only ribbon, and so she wasn't getting the status effects, and she was maybe doing like 100 damage or something like that.
Yeah.
Physically, and I had like no MP, and I killed Necron with my white mage as the only surviving member of my party.
With a physical attack.
Did you beat 9 before we played it for a show?
Yeah.
The show?
Yeah.
Oh, I had
That's what I'm
That's
talking
what it's.
about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know I beat it with like 1 health for one guy too. It's pretty much how it always goes in that game. Because that one move. Anyway, Benjamin says for the first question, what is your first Final Fantasy memory? The first time I laid eyes upon a Final Fantasy game was at my friend's house. He had the SNES and I had a Sega Genesis. I was over there and he was playing a game that immediately captured my attention. I asked if it was 2-player, and it was. He gave me a controller and told me to pick the character I wanted to play. When I went with the big tough-looking guy and a Yeti. On that day, I played my first Final Fantasy, FF6.
Nice.
2 is for the, what is your most cherished Final Fantasy memory? He says, when I think on Final Fantasy, I realize how significant this series has been in my life. It is the single most stable entity that I have held on to. Other hobbies and games come and go, but Final Fantasy has always been there for me. My most cherished Final Fantasy memory is the first playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII. Oh boy, I had only played a few of them sporadically, and only Final Fantasy VII to completion. I remember looking things up for Final Fantasy VII on dial-up internet, reading rumors and looking at pictures of the game. When it came out, I went to Toys R Us and bought it. I raced home, put the first disc in, and lost myself in the opening cutscene. I had never seen anything like it, and to this day, I can remember what I experienced in my first playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII. He's a real big fan of FF8.
But it's mostly just looking back at it, going, "Oh, the good time."
Yeah, he realizes it's nostalgia. He's mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All right, we got one from Nox88 here. Topic, FF Brave Exvius. Have any of you downloaded and played Brave Exvius? If so, what are your thoughts?
Should have screened these questions.
Yeah. We did. Well, we've
Downloaded, haven't played it.
We mentioned it earlier in the episode. It is cool. I recommend it. Check it out. If you want to throw a few bucks at it, you can get some good packages for extra items. I haven't yet, which is weird because I did for Pokemon Go, but like for Square, it's like I've given you guys so much money already. Like I might just keep this one free.
Does he have an opinion about the game?
He said it was fun.
Oh, okay.
He enjoyed it, so he backed me up.
Right. Is this our last question from you to us?
No.
No.
We got this one, and then didn't you say we had one from Skype?
No, that was an answer from us to you.
Oh, that's right.
This is our final question from the Ultima Final Fantasy 2.0 forums.
This one is tough too. Topic, hardest FF game. It's tough because we already know the answer. Cloud says, which FF games are the hardest? Name the 4 hardest, 4 easiest. For this question, do not consider FFs 1 through 3, because otherwise everyone will name FFs 1 through 3. Not true.
Oh.
I would name 1. I would submit that starting with FF6, the difficulty rise and fall without consistent trend. Why do you think the ranking is whatever you have given it? Well, we don't know yet.
Okay.
What is your ranking? And Caleb's will be easy because he's only
without 1 through
4.
3.
Yeah.
See, now that takes a second, because not that I would have put 3. No, yeah, because 3 has that fucking Crystal Tower bullshit.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Oh yeah, those would be not my top 3. By the way, they would be just below. The absolute hardest Final Fantasy game, despite the fact that it's been nerfed a million times before we even started playing it. So the idea that it originally was 9 times worse than it fucking is right now in terms of difficulty, Final Fantasy 11 is a sick motherfucker.
Okay.
It is sick. And we've done this a few times. We see people in the chat. Manzara, of course, has played the game like a million times, or for like a million hours at least. So we're getting like, oh yeah, you used to have to do this, and then it was really long, and level. I can't believe like you had a max of 300 experience you can get in a day, and I'm like, what? This is disgusting. It's a fucking hard game now. It's harder than any other Final Fantasy game, especially to get into. I mean, right now we're over leveled and we're kind of going through these expansions really easily so far. But that's only because we're over leveled and we put in a fuckload of hours getting over leveled and dying on the way, by the way. And you can level down if you die too many times.
It's true, yeah. You lose experience.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, if we're not counting 1, 2, 3, number 11 as the absolute hardest that I've played so far.
Okay.
I would say either 4 or I don't know.
You only
4.
have 3 of them to choose from, right?
Well, 4 or 8, because 8 has a really hard last boss, but then 4 has the like fucking insane level jump to the moon.
That's true. The moon is rough.
Yeah. So either one of those.
All right. I'm gonna say FF5 still. If you don't get the mime thing, X-Death is brutal. He's just sick.
He's brutal even with the mime.
You have to throw a ton of gil at him. I would put number 2 as probably FF11. I don't think it's as hard as 5.
I think
it's a different
FF11 is
beast.
16.
I don't think we
5.
can consider what it used to be part of its
No,
difficulty.
I'm not. I'm not considering that. That's the fucking thing.
It's hard to-
I am not considering what it used to be.
It's hard to get into, but we haven't really run into problems this time, like playing it
Yeah,
recently.
this time after we did our time of 6 days of game time.
Yeah, but I don't know.
6
It's a long
days
game.
of game
Yeah,
time.
but length doesn't necessarily equate to difficulty. FF10 was not a difficult platinum. It just took a long time.
The reason it's taken so long, or it has taken so
Tooken.
long, it's taken. The reason it's
Tooken
taken so
too.
long is because of how hard it is. Remember just the first day in FF11. Are you remembering
yeah, it
that?
was horrible.
How about getting shit from Kadavs when you had to get the drops for the first time?
Yeah, those were bad drop
Yeah.
rates. The drop rates do get pretty bad sometimes in 11, but we understand the game now, and when I go in and I'm like, okay, I want to level up this job class, it takes me no time. I can get to level 30 in like a couple hours, easily. because I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing now. Whereas in the beginning, the learning curve is very steep.
And we're
but
still
I feel
getting
like,
fucking lost in the game. We're dropping
oh
down
yeah,
holes we're not
dude.
supposed to be
I
in.
don't have. I can't remember which way I turned sometimes.
I maybe tried to
with
kill
it.
X Death like 7 times, right? And
Yeah.
it's a long boss fight, so it was kind of a pain in the ass. But I'm trying to remember about frustration level. Was it more frustrating to die to X Death a few times, or was it more frustrating to be like, oh, we fell down a pit, guys. Hold on. Gonna wait 20 minutes before you come up there.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Can you imagine playing the game without a guide on top of that?
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough. but
FF11 would be almost impossible to play without a guide or without someone going, "Oh, it's here."
we could probably do it.
Yeah,
We'd have to write notes and pay really good attention to everything, because it's so, I don't know, the way the game is played. It's so disconnected in a way.
And I
like-
don't think 5 is disgustingly hard until X Death as well.
I'd say the area around them gets pretty tough.
those guys the end zone.
Those guys do so much damage that it's not even worth leveling up on them. I like left and then leveled up elsewhere because they were just so sick. Like I was like, get like no experience from you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
My
What
top
do you-
my top 3, if we're not counting the first 3, it would probably be
it's 4.
11, 4, 5. And then if it's 4, then I'm going to go ahead and say 13. 13 is just for me. The second time around, it was easier the first time. I don't know why, but the second time around,
What about 12?
I was trying to play it harder. Or if you're trying to play 13 fast, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
That's how you get like your dome caved in while playing 12. You died more times in one day than I think I died the 120 hours I put into it. I think I only died like 4 times.
Wait, before my 99 levels? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only died.
I'm not talking about that.
I died like 4, maybe 5 times in that game.
Okay, if I fuck
The
up
whole
because I'm
time.
playing, I'm gonna replace 13 with 8 because
Okay.
yeah, because I've played 13 and it's been easy, and I've played 13 and it's been hard, because it just depends on your play style. 8 also depends on your play style, but the fact that it doesn't really make it obvious that you need to not level up.
Well, you
is
don't.
absolutely ridiculous.
You can level up.
You can,
It just you just
It
then
makes-
need to.
but you
Yeah,
need
it
to
makes the
over
game
level.
harder.
Yeah, well, you just need to know what you're doing, and you can play it like a normal Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but the fact that it doesn't give you
Yeah, when you start the game, you wouldn't know what
Yeah,
you're doing.
I would
I
say
know.
the same
That's
for
why.
FF.
That's why we weren't able to beat it before.
all 3 of us have started that game, leveled up, not knowing that's not what you should do.
We can't get past
and
it.
then we can't get past
But most
it.
of that I would attribute to the lack of knowledge on how the battle system actually works, like how the junction system works.
Yeah,
I think
but-
if I know what I know
I
now
think
and
you
went
get through
back,
the 30-minute tutorial.
I'd be just fine. Yeah, no, the tutorials are atrocious in these games. Honestly, like it's so much information just thrown at you.
I don't think I've ever seen a good tutorial for Final Fantasy, so yeah, that's a good point.
But all right, 8's a fair judgment. What are yours then, Craig? You put what'd you put 4?
4 and 8, yeah.
All right, 4, 8, and then what else after that? Have you beaten more than? No, you've only beaten like 4 of them, haven't you? No, you beat 5. Didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I beat a few.
You really put 5 over those 2 or below?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't find X Death to be that hard.
You're a freak, apparently.
4, 8, 5, and 9, I guess.
Okay, you beat 9?
Yeah.
You finished it?
9 you're putting in the most difficult?
Dude, he's only beaten 12.
I added
after
the
that.
7 that I've
9.
beaten. Yeah.
Easiest one.
I think 7's easier than 9.
Yeah, 7 is way easier than 9.
The one fight that's
I
brutal.
beat 9 with fucking Quinn with 1 HP using his special move.
I think
7's easy as fuck.
7's
But
way easy.
I think 9, because it's a more balanced game.
Well,
kinda
you and
going
I
on,
both
think
died
it's
to
way
we died to
fucking
Kuja
easy.
and we died to the other guy a bunch of times.
No, I only died to Kuja once, and then I played it again, and then.
Although, to be
Kuja
fair, I
and
did beat the final
Minecraft.
boss with my
Oh,
first
okay.
try.
I only had to do that final fight twice, and I only ever died to Kuja. Never.
I died to Kuja I think
I never died to Necron.
2 or 3 times, and then I died to Necron once.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's fucking easy.
all right. Mine right now 5-11. 5-11.
And I'm thinking not doing extra stuff. Like I'm just thinking main campaign. Certainly 12 would be, just because of the 4-hour boss fight.
Well, I don't even think
Isomat?
that. I think just you were just getting so wrecked in that game. Like, I didn't even understand. You died all the time in FF12, and you were like getting really pissed at it and saying how much you hated it while you were playing it.
Yeah, that's true, dude.
Yeah, you sucked ass at that
You
game.
hated
I'm
the
surprised you
shit
didn't-
out of that
I'm
game
surprised you didn't put it
until
higher
like
up.
you did the like super leveling.
Yeah,
Well-
I did the super leveling not that far in.
No, you did it when you were at about 40 hours, I think, or 30
It
hours.
was like halfway. Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, you died like all the time in that. I'm surprised you didn't put that one in there. Although your levels did catch up because you only used one party of 3, whereas I used more than that. So you were ahead of me at one point. That's why you did the power leveling, of course, because I was evenly leveling everybody so that I could get ready for those big boss fights later.
Well, the second half of the game was really easy.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
For this playthrough. The first time I played 12, it was like impossible.
Yeah.
But I beat it, but it was rough.
Jeez, I'm gonna say, I can't put 1 through 3. That is nuts. I'm gonna say 13. Some of those boss fights are really tough, and you have to be super fast, and it can be difficult at times, especially if you don't stay on pulse and grind. It's a really hard game, and some of those summon fights are real tough too. So I feel comfortable putting 13 in there, and then after 13. Dude, I don't even think any of the other ones are hard. Like,
I think there's hard aspects.
4,
to
I'd put
most of
4.
them.
Yeah,
The moon and 4, and the final boss.
The moon is really the only reason.
The final
I put
boss
4.
in 4 was rough too for me. He was
Yeah.
way rough. I had to like go level up. But once I got everybody's items in that final area, and I just went in there and whooped his ass. So, but no, yeah, 4 would be just under 13 or tied. I'll put those last two tied. Just because they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, here's what Cloud says to his own question. Hardest 5, 4, 9, 10. Easiest 7, 6, 8, 12. Oh yeah, we forgot to name the easiest.
Easiest is, I'm not in no particular order, 7, 9, 6, and 10.
All right.
7 being the easiest.
Your easiest and hardest list are gonna bleed.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be combined a little bit.
You sad man.
I don't know. 7.
For talking main
5.
He doesn't necessarily say that it's got to be.
Dirge of Cerberus, I would put in the easiest camp if we're not just doing main series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. 7 and 5. I'm just gonna put that.
You got
there.
Caleb.
Just those
yeah.
two.
All right. 7, 9, 6.
Oh, 12.
6
12
was
should be on there.
easy, and 12 for me this time was probably the easiest
Oh
one.
yeah, super easy for me.
I didn't run into.
I think
any
I died
problems.
maybe twice, and as soon as I got the Zodiac Spear, I was invincible.
Yeah, me too.
Like I looked away from the final boss. Like I just left on this stuff, and it killed him.
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
slaughter him. I went 1v1 on like so many of those boss fights. I like took everybody else out of the party and like had Balthier take on his dad, then had Bosch take on his brother. It was awesome.
With
Friggin'
the
mono-y
with the spear.
mono. Yeah, with the spear, of
Nice.
course. So yeah, that would be mine. Let's see. Shinru says FF5 hardest, FF10 easiest. Chocobo Chica says hardest FF4, even though I'm still playing it. 5, the original fights every 3 steps. Yeah, the encounter rate is nuts. Easiest 7, 8, 12, and 14. Can I include that one? Yeah, you can. Running with a group makes it easy to level. It does. 14's not a tough game
I had
so
some problems
far.
on boss fights in 14.
Yeah.
That big dragon guy that was doing a lot of AoEs.
Oh, the
They
huge
were, like,
dude on the bridge?
They were like crisscrossing.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, you bastard. Why are you going to bring that back? It all came rushing back to me. No, that
He
one
had
was tough
forgotten.
because there's an area that, like, you get hit with an AoE and it slows you down. And then the big-ass AoE comes in and you can't get away from it. So you're, like, super slow. And then you just get punctured.
I had
Just
problems in that game. a few
shredded.
times.
All right.
Mostly because tanks won't fucking aggro their shit, and then the white mage is getting hit.
Yeah, that does happen.
Those motherfuckers.
Nox88 says hardest 5, 4. None of the rest are hard in his opinion. Tactics can be though. Easiest,
Yeah,
7,
Texas
10,
can be. Depends on how you play it.
6, and 8. Ooh. Let's see what Gabranth says. He's got a big old reasoning behind it. I don't know if I'm going to include it.
Don't worry
though.
about it. Just list the stuff.
The hardest, 14, 4, 5, and then lightning returns. Top 4 easiest, tactics. I'm sure it's the fucking level thing that you can do. 6, 7, and then 8. And yeah.
All right.
That's it. And there's other people.
I see a lot of overlaps. I think every single person mentioned 7 as being one of the easiest.
Yeah.
Dude, it is so easy.
It's not like with 12 where you're either good at it or you're bad at it. It's like it's just an easy game. I don't know. It's not one of the
I
ones
got
that you just get.
the enemy skill that would like magic bubble or whatever.
Yeah, it does a ton.
It does like
for a long
4,000
time.
damage to like everything up
Some of
into
those
like
are-
the final area, and then you get like the swords that do way more, and then you get ×2 cut, ×3
Yeah.
cut. Then it doesn't even matter. You're
Yeah.
just a god.
Yeah, that game. Jesus,
It's super easy.
I don't think I've ever lost to Sephiroth in my life. Actually,
I don't think I
I've
lost.
I lost to him once.
yeah.
The first time I played. But not on the first time I played. The first time I played, I beat him one time. It was the speed run.
Oh yeah, you lost to him.
Yeah,
in
I
the
lost to
speedrun?
him once.
Nice. All right. I think that's it for our questions. But we did ask a question from us to you last time. So
Rest in peace, old forum.
yes, let us get to that.
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
Wow, you're really shitty. The topic last week was FF horror stories. I asked, has there been a moment in a Final Fantasy game that made you want to quit the game or even the series? Has there been a moment that did make you leave a game forever? Let us know. Cloud says, no moment has made me want to give up the series since I obviously continue to love it. Some moments are cringeworthy. The biggest cringe moment, and I didn't mean give up the series for eternity. Obviously, any of our listeners are going to not have given up the series. I meant like for that game or however long of a period. The biggest cringe moment would be pretty much anything in the first 2 chapters of 10-2.
Oh, no.
Hard to pick.
10-2.
However, everyone will pick 10-2 because it is disasterific. Let's actually choose something distinct. For me, it's FF9. FF9. Wow. The moment where Zidane grabs Dagger's ass against her wishes while climbing up the rope onto the airship bound for Lindblom is awful for me. I'm not very chill with guys being playful or just flirting and grabbing a woman's private areas. Dagger clearly doesn't want his advances at this point. Made me immediately hate Zidane in an unrecoverable way. Yeah, Zidane's kind of a...
It's kind of a
douche,
perv.
but-
Yeah, I guess. No, not for me, though. That was jokey. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting question you asked, Schweiss.
Yeah.
10-2 really pissed me off. 10-2. And
Yeah.
11. First 8 hours of 11. Let's just add that in there once again.
Is it really anything in comparison to this?
And time-wise, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. 11 does take forever. All right. Shinru says, FF2 grinding for hours and hours on the PSP version and not being able to do any of the tricks since they were patched. FF3 got to the top of Crystal Tower, get killed, and just get angry that I lost a few hours of grinding and working my way up there. I love this dungeon now, by the way. FF5, escaping from the castle with the countdown timer. I made it out, but then a Deathclaw appears and forces me into a boss fight with the timer still counting down. I gathered so many items and XP by making my way out of the castle and just to lose to
That's
the
good.
timer during the boss fight. Made me rage. I did not lose at that part. FF9, Necron, that grand cross attack. What the fuck? I was getting status ailments left and right, had to restart a few times, and finally grinded equipment to make sure I had all of the protection against those ailments, and finally managed to beat him. FF10, this is the biggest one. I made it to like where you fight Seymour the first time and you have Shiva and then have to escape. Saved, and a day later I got back and memory save got corrupted. Everything on my card was deleted. And it was an official Sony card too, by the way. I was so mad I did not want to restart. But I did, and I made it back there in record time.
Jeez. That's bad.
I feel for you.
Yeah, my game glitched after I did the lightning dodging quest. I finally found that area where you could do it, and it like glitched right after that. Oh. I went and opened up the chest, and the game froze. I was crushed, dude. I was like, I don't want this anymore. Anyway, Chocobo Chica answers, story is always my driving factor in how much effort I put into an FF. Only 2 games have been difficult in that aspect. FF2, my least favorite title in the series. The story is way better than FF1's, by the way, Chica. I really had to make myself finish this one. The story didn't have my attention, and I just was not a fan. This might have been due to the fact that I played most of the series by the time I got to this one. I don't know. FF12 took me years to beat this game. It felt like the story didn't really pick up until about 25 hours in. I loved the battle system, but it only felt like Final Fantasy in name and design. Could have been called Final Politics. Neither of these things made me want to quit the series per se, but I do want to finish all the mainline ones someday. Only have 11 and 4 left.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, 4 is going to be easier.
Well, 11 with the trust system that they got nowadays. In fact, you know what? If I were to do 11 again, knowing what I know now, I would level up first. I would, just go get my fucking experience ring.
Do what that listener of ours was doing. Like, hey, 2 days in, level 30.
Yeah, do that shit. That would make those
You're
first...
what now?
All you have to do is, to technically beat the game, the original Final Fantasy 11, all they had, story-wise, was up to mission 6. Rank 6, right?
Yeah.
And so, if you were already leveled, that would not take long at all.
No, it wouldn't. It would not. Onion Knight, or no, sorry, not Onion Knight. One Nation. Oh God. Name's Lightning Returns. He actually dropped the series between hearing the word God every second and the awkward. When this game came out, Square was in a very dark place. This game was just icing on the cake. I'm not going to read the rest because it gives shit away.
Oh, okay.
I already know about it.
Well, I'm glad you
Jake
know about
being an ass.
Is he ever not?
No. Nox88 says, for me, it was FF13 as a whole. I remember being extremely excited when the game came out, but I was soon disappointed. I enjoyed the game play to a certain extent, but the story was lackluster at best. In the end, I found the gameplay to be so repetitive that I quit playing as I entered the final area. I was just bored and unmotivated. It hasn't made me quit the series, however. That's mostly due to life changes. I don't have time to play games, but FF13 definitely caused me to quit thinking about the series for a while. Let's see. Cloud says, a tangent given One Nation's comment. I have debated doing the rest of the 13 trilogy, despite my reservations on 13. Is Lightning Returns heavily about God? This would be a major turnoff for me, or is God in the sense of the foul C? Neither of us know. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a single solitary fuck.
We'll play it anyway because we have to. It's our life's work here.
Wow. Geez, yeah.
Yeah, so good stuff, guys.
FF11, first few hours. We do have a Skype response.
Oh, shit, you're right. Who was it?
I don't know. Just
Your mom.
It's one of the new ones. So like that missed call, maybe up there. Yeah.
Hey, it's Joe from Michigan. I'm responding to the question from us to you about a time that I got angry and quit Final Fantasy. That would be for Final Fantasy 14. I started playing probably 7 months ago, 8 months ago maybe. And right about the time I got to A Realm Reborn meets Heavensward, there's 100 quests there that happened in the patch cycle between 2.0 and 3.0. So 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. So there's 100 quests there, and like probably 75 of them are fucking retarded. You don't do anything that matters. You just run around, talk to this guy, run around, talk to this guy, run around, talk to this guy, run around, talk to this guy. And it took so long. I was probably in the middle of it, and that's what we were doing. We have 4 people at my house. We're all sitting there, me, my wife, and my 2 buddies, sitting there trying to burn through these fucking 100 quests, just getting through them as fast as possible so we can get through. I'm trying to read stuff. Finally, I just stood up, turned off my fucking computer, and left my own house. I was so frustrated at the fact that someone told me, like, hey, you're here, go give that guy a letter. It's like, you motherfucker, I just saved the fucking world, and you can't hire a postman to go fucking over there. I have 4 million gil. Can I pay someone to go over there? Because I don't want to fucking run over there. So I got so pissed, I left. The only reason I kept playing the game is because my wife wanted me to. Otherwise, I would have said, fuck you, and quit completely. In fact, one of my friends did. They got to those 100 quests, said, this is fucking retarded, and quit, and completely left the game. In hindsight, kind of glad my wife made me keep going, because Heaven's Word was awesome. I'm still playing today, have a great time. The only other Final Fantasy I've ever quit was Final Fantasy 3, and that was when it came out, and that's because it was super boring, and I had no nostalgia factor to keep me going like I did for 1 or 2. So, other than that, Final Fantasy 14, those 100 quests, I know that's coming up for you guys. Good luck getting through them. Push through. Heaven's Word is worth it. Love the show. Talk to you next time.
Okay, so that's before Heaven's Word is what you said, right?
Yeah.
So we already did that.
Yeah, we did. It was pain.
Yeah. No, we know,
a long
dude.
time.
Yeah. Oh wow, great answer. There are a lot of quests in the MMO. It's just an MMO thing, dude. They just give you things to do because they want you to play the game. So like, hey, go talk to this guy. Go do emotes to people. We bitched about emotes for a good 10 minutes.
I remember that when I started 14.
Emotes for fucking days in that game. You're just like, go wave, go cheer, go convince. Like, fuck that. I feel you.
Scroll through the giant menu.
Yeah, or just gonna throw a keyboard in. Is what I would do.
Which one is it? Gotta learn to dance.
Unless you forget the word. It's like slash. It's like something like cheer, but not cheer. I'm like, oh my god. Oh, these sylphs. I hate them. I hate them.
Does anybody not hate the sylphs?
I don't know. I hope not. It would be a weird person.
All right. So, guys, if you want to reach out our phone lines, you can go to 385-204-3921. Let's go through some iTunes review, and then we'll ask our official question from us to you after that.
iTunes reviews. iTunes reviews.
Oh, man, that one just soothes me. All right, this one is a 4-star review. What? From Knox at Night 88. I've been listening to this podcast for almost a year now. Each week, the guys either review a Final Fantasy game or discuss topics surrounding the different games. The material is diverse: mythic origins of Final Fantasy, history of Square Enix, FF news, and much more. Keeping the podcast from becoming stale, Caleb and Joe's chemistry is palpable.
Oh, Caleb.
I think you meant palpable, but I don't know. That is kind of weird tasting it. Like, I can taste your chemistry. Speaking of sexual references, now making them easy to listen to. I also appreciate how the guys don't cave to popular opinion, but give honest reviews of the games.
Yeah, some people really hate that.
Oh, some people hate it. Just hate it. For example, most people put FF2 at the bottom of their FF lists, but Caleb and Joe correctly see 1 and 3 as worse. The only negative I would give this show is the language. I don't mind cursing, but some of the obscene sexual references are over the top, making me want to turn off the podcast when it happens. Thankfully, they don't do it all the time, so I simply tune them out until they move on. All in all, this is a podcast that any Final Fantasy fan will love. I recommend starting with the review episodes. I listened to them several times, but make sure to branch out to the others as well. Wow, man, thank you. That was a very good, honest review. The sexual references, we do go crazy on those. The Dirge of Cerberus one is coming to mind, and then last week's episode, of course, right before this review comes out, what hentai, whatever it is it's
called
thrown out there-
hentai, Caleb.
Thrown out there about 50 times, so enjoy that. But yeah, thank you so much for
Watch
the
it with
review.
kids.
We really appreciate it. That's what keeps us going.
Family
Is that our
friendly
only
show.
review?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for giving us reviews every week. It's fucking awesome.
Yes.
I mean, it's darn tootin' what you guys do.
That sounds like a Craig line.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I got to go back and
I've
hear what
never
that one
said
was.
that.
No, you haven't, but there was something you said that, like, I just imagine, like, some old
You
claim
bet your
jumper.
bottom dollar.
Yeah, like some dude that's, like, going out there and buying land for oil, something like that. I don't know.
In the 40s.
Yeah. You betcha, boy! Yeah, something really weird.
All right.
Anyway, you got a question from us to you?
I do. And by the way, those who win this question from us to you, they will get a prize. Don't know what it is yet. Got to discuss it with Schweiss, but they will get a prize.
I know what it is.
The question from us to you is, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for Kingsglaive will be?
Oh, shit. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh man.
Well, when it comes out officially in the United States
Ooh.
and it settles after like a week, what do you guys think the official Rotten Tomatoes score will be for Kingsglaive?
You know, are we going to be able to make top critics for this one?
Are we gonna be? No,
Fuck. Why not?
because we're not even like
Well,
listed in their thing. We're
We
not movie
are.
critics.
This thing.
Anyway, so you guys can go on the new forum and guess.
Yes. Make sure just do one guess, one specific number. Whoever's the
Yeah.
closest wins this prize.
Yeah, we'll
in
say what
which-
those numbers are next week.
Yeah.
And then we'll have this episode as proof of what you guys guessed already. So
Right.
make sure you guys get that question in this week, please.
Yes,
And if the link isn't working, it's forums.geekdomentertainment.com.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this gigantic episode of Questions and News. You can follow us at facebook.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. You can go to youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. You can support us on Patreon. $1 a month gives you the episodes as soon as we're done mixing them. By the way, guys, we are going to start... we got to go through a backlog, but I think we're going to start thanking our new Patreon donors.
Yeah, each week.
So if you don't want us to say your name, you need to tell us that.
Yeah, just shoot us a message on there. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
And so, but otherwise, just assume that if you do decide to support us on Patreon, you're going to get a thank you on the episode.
Whatever your username happens to be. Sometimes we actually get to see your real names, but we won't do that if the username's different. So if you're not cool with it, just let us know.
Yeah. And where else can they follow us? Schweiss?
Twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy. See me stream FF11 after this. And Nude Clan, of course. You can go to, you can support us in another way. If you guys use our Amazon link, yada yada, you buy shit online, whatever, go through that. We get a small percentage. It's pretty cool. It doesn't cost you anything.
And Twitter.
Yeah, tweet me and the show, mostly me, at UFF Podcast.
You tweet me and the show-ish at Joseph Vigolier.
And if you desire to tweet me, it is at Obsidian Bar.
Send him hate tweets.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Caleb.
You can leave us a message at 385-204-3921, and be sure to check out our other shows. Nude Clan, the best podcast fucking ever.
It's true.
Which we had to record after this. And oh yeah, Super Sexy Swinging Fan Fiction.
Yeah, the show that actually releases episodes. Yeah.
Godzilla
You
podcast.
implying that the other ones
I'm
don't?
implying that the Godzilla podcast.
The Godzilla podcast.
Yeah, but you didn't say that. You just said the one that actually releases episodes.
After
the other ones don't.
We're already doing one, and we mentioned another. And there's only two left.
Okay. We may be doing a Godzilla podcast episode today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did give you the once a month thing. I
Yeah.
told you you gotta have at least one. And it's getting close.
We watched both versions of Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster.
Sweet.
So we're ready for it. We just haven't sat down to record yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That'll
you
be
know,
good.
We've been doing our jobs. It's just this. I've told my Godzilla podcast listeners, it's whenever the fuck we want to put out an episode, We're going to try for every 2 weeks, but that has never been the case. Whenever we want to put out the fucking episodes, we'll put them out, and you guys will love it. So,
all right.
There's a scarcity thing, though. Like, people really love it, and they're, like, waiting. They're waiting in the wings. I'm like, why didn't we just do that with Ultima? Like, why didn't we... Oh, now, suddenly, a month and a half later, guys, we're done with FF12.
Yeah.
Here's our review. Yeah.
Because we're not Retro RPG.
Oh, yeah, we're not the Retro RPG podcast. All right, Schweiss, well, I think that's going to be it for this week.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Caleb Craig, for coming on.
Yeah,
no
thanks
problem.
a lot. And until next time, enjoy the grind.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Caleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.
Yeah, there's the link to the new forums, guys. We will have a redirect up. Oh, you ass. For the Ultima Final Fantasy site once everything's done.
Yeah, in the next 8 hours, the site's going to switch over.
Yeah, so, yep, sorry. New forums again. We know.
They're
but
better. They're better already.
This is the last fucking time this is going to happen, I swear.
Yes.
I will not do it again. We can't do this to you people again. Yeah.
All right.
We can't tell you what the prize is, man. We can't tell you.
The prize is, then it takes the fun away.
Yeah, it's all about the mystery. Yeah, we'll see you guys later.